Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape,
vinyl tape, carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. We've got a blast from the past, someone from the original Minding Our Business program, so I'm quite sure this is going to be good. We've done no prep, so George, don't mess up, please. George, welcome.
No pressure.
Welcome to the platform. How are you, my friend?
Very well. Thanks for asking, and thank you for having me. Such a great pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Now, when did you come out of Rider University?
I graduated in May 2016.
2016, and then I assume, let's do the simple math, in 2012, you were a freshman at Rider.
Correct.
Okay.
September 2012, brand new freshman to Rider University.
Excellent. And so when did you start the Minding Our Business program?
I want to say my junior year of college, so maybe 2014-ish, somewhere around there. Yeah.
And why were you encouraged to participate?
So I had a talk with Dr. Hernandez at the time, and
Yes.
I took one of his classes, and then he was telling me, hey, George, you should, check out this program. Come see me after class, and let's have a further discussion. And I went, had the conversation with him, and as he was telling me more and more about the program and what it entails, I was like, wow, this sounds like a great and exciting opportunity for me to explore my entrepreneurial spirit and skills and try to give forward or help the others in those local communities.
Yes.
And see if I can help them find their passion to be able to, find a career that they possibly may like and give them a different perspective on life.
Yes, wonderful. So first of all, thank you for volunteering, and thank you for being such a wonderful mentor. Which school did you participate in?
That's a very good question. I do not recall. It was somewhere in Trenton.
Okay.
No prep. So
yeah, no prep. So I'm lost too now. Okay.
It was one of the schools in Trenton, and the kids that I was.
Was it a junior high school? Elementary?
Yeah. It was an elementary school. I think I had fifth graders or something like that.
Was it Monument School? Was it Kilmer?
I honestly don't recall.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you still keep in touch with any of the students from Facebook or social media?
I do not. No.
Okay. So you're at Rider. You're a junior. You're not thinking about giving back to the community. You're not thinking about anything. So here comes this wonderful guy, Dr. Hernandez, and says, do you want to participate? And you jumped at it. And so what goes on? You go through the training, you come to the Trenton schools, and you're serving as a mentor, trying to encourage some of the young folks, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Prior to you coming to Rider, what was your background? Where were you staying? Where were you living? Where did you go to high school?
I went to Baton High School, graduated class of 2012,
Yes.
and I've lived most of my life in the city of Bayonne, but previously I was in Jersey City, which is my next door neighbor.
Okay.
And I went to PS33, and then right after fourth grade, my parents had decided to move to the city of Bayonne, and that's where I went to schools here, starting fifth grade up until I graduated high school.
But what led you to Ryder?
I got great merit scholarships, and I just loved the gym that was there.
Okay.
And I just had a great day during orientation when I was checking out different colleges.
Awesome. Did you know your major prior to going to Ryder?
It's actually a funny story. So junior year of high school, or actually senior year of high school, when I was trying to decide, I had made up my mind I was going to do pharmacy.
Yes.
And I had no intention of doing business or anything like that. So I spoke to one of my buddies, and he kind of was telling me that, the health sciences is a hard road. You really got to be passionate for it. And I was okay in chemistry, and I sat there and I did some soul searching, and I was like, you know what, maybe I need to reconsider if pharmacy is going to be the route that I'm going to go down. And senior year of high school, I took an accounting course, and it was an elective. Yes. And my guidance counselor, she really recommended that I take one of these new electives that our high school was offering at the time. One of them was accounting. So I decided, let me do accounting. I was like, let me give it a shot. It was me and two of my other buddies. We did it. And from that moment on, I was like, you know what? I think business is my passion. I just love the whole problem solving, trying to come up with solutions. And it just intrigued me. And from that moment on, I decided to study finance. And I was really thankful for the conversation I had with one of my buddies. He's actually a surgeon now. So he decided to go down that route of healthcare. Yeah.
Wait. So this is the guy that went to Ryder with you?
No,
Oh,
he didn't.
Oh, okay.
This is the guy who spoke with me in like junior or senior year of high school, telling me, hey, if I really want to pursue pharmacy, then I really got to be passionate for it. And then I found my passion was towards business,
Understood.
The problem solving and stuff. And then I went into Ryder. I decided that finance was going to be my major. And from that moment on, it's been a great journey so far.
Awesome. So now, when we were doing some prep, not a lot of prep, which business did you start?
So my first business I started was a burger joint.
Yes.
And I opened it with one of my longtime buddies.
Yes.
My close best friend. We grew up together, and we got into it. I want to say 2018. But by the time we were able to find a place, lease it, get it under construction, we didn't actually officially start to open our doors to customer until I want to say sometime in 2020, earlier mid 2020.
Yes.
And then that was right in the midst of COVID. So we got into this whole journey, really excited, young kids, entrepreneurial spirits. We want to, change the world, offering employment opportunities to our local community. And here we are. We're like, we're going to change the world.
Yes.
And then little did we know that it took a whole global pandemic to get us off the high horse that we were on, I guess. It was definitely a rough journey. At one point, I was like, I told my buddy, I was like, hey, listen, should we pull the trigger on this? It got really rough. It was, it went from all, exciting moments to now, hey, this is real. We have a lot of money into this.
Yes.
What are we going to do?
Wow.
We had a few conversations with different types of marketing companies. We did a lot of analysis and feasibility studies. And then we decided, you know what, we came this far, even though it was a global pandemic, we're not going to quit here.
Okay.
That was the whole point of being an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So we did our calculation. We, trying to figure out what our opportunity cost was. And we're like, you know what, we're going to continue. We're going to go for it. And then thankfully it was successful. We were open for almost 2 years. We had a great time. We learned a lot of different aspects of the business, running it, hiring, the taxation on the business, operating, managing people, time management was, key to the success of this.
Yes.
And, we actually just got rid of the store about a month or two ago, and now we're pursuing a different opportunity. We got into real estate.
Okay.
And now this is our new baby.
Wow. So let me stop you, George. So you know how important the business plan is, correct?
Of course.
Nowhere in the business plan did it show a forecast or you forecasting overcoming the pandemic. That wasn't even in here.
No, absolutely not. And that's the most important thing when you're planning for a business.
Yes.
You always say, these are the risks, and then there's always that 1 or 2% risk where
Yes.
you always factor in, and you're like, oh, well, what are the chances that's going to happen to me, right?
Yeah.
And then up until it happens to you, and you're like, oh snap! I didn't prepare for this.
Yeah, and you know what's going to be funny? What's going to be funny, George? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Now,
Sure.
because it's happened, I think anyone who does a business plan now, they have to do like the cataclysmic what if.
Of course.
That's got to be in your analysis of doing the business now, right? Did you have Ron Cook as one of your professors, the entrepreneurial professor? Dr. Ron Cook? Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't have the best memory.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You and I are in the same boat. So you do your 2 years with the burger joint. What was the name of your burger joint?
It was called Burgerum.
One more time?
Burgerum?
Burgum.
Burger. It's Burger IM at the end.
Yeah, Burgum. Yeah. Now, what does that mean? What's the significance behind that name? What does that mean?
So it was actually an Israeli franchise, and then it came to the United States. And
Okay.
the IM means it's like multiple, like more than one, so
Yes.
more than one burger, and that's what they really stood for. So the whole style of this was you go there, you get your burgers and cravings of like 2, 3, or more than one. That was the whole point, and hence they called it Burgerum, which is more than one burger.
Now you bought into a franchise?
Correct.
Wow. I wish you would have told me. Well, we didn't know each other back then. A buddy of mine, I just did his episode called franchising, right?
Okay.
His name is Boyington Weeks. His son just graduated from Ryder.
Oh, okay.
And he ran track for Ryder. And he is, well, the father, not the son, but the father is a very dear friend of mine. He specializes in franchising. So,
wow.
So you got to go back to some of the old episodes and listen, because I'd love to put you two in touch with each other, and maybe you can do that burger business again, because that sounds interesting. So now the new business that you and your partner have, what type of business is that now?
So it's a private real estate investment fund.
Yes.
So we specialize in bringing the institutional real estate investing to the local everyday investor.
Yes.
And essentially what that means is there are so many people out there that, they have some money on the side, they want to jump into real estate, they want to be able to invest, and they don't know how, when, or where to start. And in real estate, you can make a lot of money, or it's an opportunity for you to lose money. So you have to be really careful on how to plan and what decision you're going to do when it comes to real estate.
Absolutely.
And it's there is quite a few different varieties and types of real estate investments where you can fix and flip, you can buy and hold, development, the mixed usage. So you got to pick a strategy and just stick to it up until you really understand the ins and outs of it. And then from there, you can, maneuver a bit and try to explore different strategies. And that's what we learned. So we are in the buy and hold.
Okay.
We are in the long-term buying multi-unit families, and we are renting them out. We're building equity as the time go by. And then our investors are earning passive cash flow every single month from the rental income that we're receiving from the tenants.
Wow. Awesome. And you guys have been in business for how long?
Technically 3 years.
Wow.
But the past year and a half, that's where we really kicked off.
And then which area of service are you concentrating the business in currently?
in terms of the investment strategy or
Well, I mean,
location?
which areas that are you buying the real estate in?
So we're really open to different regions. Right
Okay.
now, our biggest focus is the Midwest. We believe that there are a lot of opportunities, especially with due to COVID. A lot of companies are moving out of the Northeast
Yes.
and moving a lot of their operational headquarters to other states besides New York, New Jersey.
Yes.
And we're just, following that pattern. Like Ohio is a great opportunity. It's a great market to get into.
Okay.
IBM is still spending, a couple $1 billion to start up a plant over there.
Yes.
And so that's going to attract a lot of people, a lot of employment, a lot of new opportunities. Baton Rouge, Louisiana is also another attractive market that we have found.
Okay.
And, and then usually you have the Texas, you have the Florida market. We got in and out of Illinois, which was, a good market as well. But we're shifting our model a bit now.
Now, so how did you create such a portfolio? Did you already know someone in the real estate business that could help you, or how did you decide that you wanted this to be a part of your portfolio?
So I have two other business partners.
Yes.
One of them is the same person that I had the business with the burger joint.
Yes.
And then the other business partner, he has a master's in data science and analytics.
Got you.
And he's our research and analytical person. So we're able to, we use different research analysis tools as a resource, and we're able to identify, different markets of where we're going to invest next.
Got you.
And because of his help, and we sit there and we study, you can, review or, really study different markets before you make a decision. Okay, this is the one we're going to move into next.
Got you. Now,
So we look for a couple of, go ahead.
No, you continue. I can hold my thoughts.
I was going to say, we look for a couple of things. We're looking for, are there any companies moving out into that region? What's the population growth looks like currently, and then, projection for the next 5 to 7 years possibly. Are there only local community banks, or are there major national recognized banks like, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America? Are there Starbucks or local mom and pop shops of coffee stores? So, and these are just like, a couple of the things that we look into before we identify a market, just so we can have an idea of, where the future or the projection for the next few years for that specific region.
Now, this is all personal real estate, meaning, homeowner. You're not looking for any commercial real estate.
So this is primarily residential.
Yes.
So it's multi-unit. So these are like 20 plus units per building.
Yes.
That we're identifying, because it's all about the rental income. It's all about building equity in the asset. And we have not decided to get into commercial yet.
Okay.
Although it's definitely in our business model.
Okay.
So we're just taking it one step at a time at the moment.
Now, personal question.
Sure.
Startup capital. How did you go about acquiring startup capital to move into this business?
Very good question. Because I come from the finance industry,
Yes.
specifically wealth management, I was able to learn a lot of experience in the past on raising capital and talking to potential investors and clients to invest in specific asset classes.
Got you.
Real estate happens to be one of them. So I was like, I'm working for a company. I'm, doing the same thing for these folks.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to learn as much as I can. And then eventually I want to be able to do it for myself.
Awesome.
And we had a conference. We met with potential investors. We pitched the idea. And then, one thing led to the other. And we were able to raise capital for one unit. And then, we just kept on growing from there.
Wow. Now,
So we pulled in.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of a fund. If someone has $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, they're willing to invest in real estate. Maybe that 20, 30, 50 grand with a bunch of other 20, 30, 50 grand can make you so much more as opposed to you doing it on your own.
Absolutely. Now I want to get back to the fund, but what did your pitch sound like to your potential client or your potential investor? What did the pitch sound like?
That's a great question. I should invite you to our next conference. Now you really want to know all of our secrets.
Yeah.
It's not really a pitch. I would call it, I like to educate people on investing,
Yes.
but more specific in real estate.
Okay.
So I identify a couple of, as an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to solve problems.
Yes.
I feel like an entrepreneur, a synonym for it is a problem solver. So for me to understand, I need to solve a problem, I need to identify the problem. So the problem was, you want to invest, you can't do it on your own, you're working your 9 to 5, you have your family and stuff like that, you have your cash parked and sitting in a bank account that's earning you, 0.0 something percent, which is well below the inflation rate. So your purchasing power, you're actually losing money every single year if it's not maintaining the inflation rate.
Yes.
So the solution to this, putting it in a inflation hedged asset class, which is real estate. And it pays much more than inflation. So at least you're parking your money in a safe asset, tangible, regardless of what's happening in the financial market. Your money is somewhat protected and backed up by a physical asset. There's an address. You can touch it. You can see it. You can drive past it, And, but we showed our projected returns and what we were able to accomplish in the past. And that, triggered some interest in potential investors.
Now, has your firm considered doing any investment in the urban areas of the East Coast, like in Jersey City, in Newark, in Trenton?
Yes, we have considered that.
Okay.
Given the nature of the location and the extreme upfront cost that we need to do, or we need to come to the table with in terms of capital,
okay,
we decided we're going to hold off on that for now.
Okay.
But it's definitely in our business plan. We are willing to explore and to go down that route. We're all three of us, myself including my business partners, we're all from the Jersey City, Hudson County
yes,
area. So we definitely want to give back to our community. We definitely want to invest in it. We definitely want to be able to build something so beautiful and gorgeous where, we're able to house individuals in.
Well, I just finished an interview with a dear friend of mine, John Hatch, who's doing some wonderful development in the city of Trenton. I'm born and raised here, so I've got some connections. So I'm gonna put you in touch with a few other people. One guy is Eric Maywar. He is like the guru. He's the ambassador for the city of Trenton, helping people out with grants and things of that nature. So I'd love to put you in touch with him, and to see
that would be fantastic,
and see what opportunities come out of that. But continue. So you're now when you're investing. I lost my thought, but let me just go back. I think part of it was when you put together your prospectus. Do you allow the investor to travel to the site to see the investment property? Have you and your partner gone to see the investment property before you decide that this is what you want to move on?
Yeah, so I can't tell someone not to go visit the property, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, they're still an investor in it. They have some type of ownership to it.
Yes.
And I would actually recommend for all of our investors to go out there and explore the assets or the properties that they're invested in.
Yes.
So, and have they seen it? I'm not quite sure. Most of our investors are here in the Northeast region.
Okay.
A lot of our properties are in the Midwest.
Yes.
So I don't know if they ever got a chance, to go and see it. But I always recommend for all of our investors to Google Earth it. Google it, look around, look where it's at. We give them a bunch of pictures and videos to make them feel that they're able to see it. We do a lot of 3D tours.
Yes.
Where someone can tour the property without being physically at the location.
Yes.
And so that's that part of the question. Have I seen the properties? The ones out there in the Midwest, we have not seen it in physical.
Okay.
But we have hired a lot of we partner with a lot of third party networks where
yes.
we're able to get as much information as we possibly need, so that way we can make a well-minded decision in terms of investing that property or not.
That was going to be my next question. So you've got this property; it's multiple units. Who do you work with to assure that you've got great property management on site?
Yeah. So COVID really transformed the game of real estate investment.
Yes.
So because of COVID and a lot of people couldn't go and, see the properties in person, and a lot of tenants didn't feel comfortable letting people touring their apartments during, a global pandemic,
Yes.
which is understandable. So because of that, you're able to, as any business owner, if you're not changing or evolving, you'll never grow. So then you have to think outside the box. What else can I do? If I can't see the property, what can I do? Can I hire someone that's able to go out there, disinfect, and make sure that the tenants are comfortable so that we can get as much information so we can make a decision.
Yes.
In terms of managing the property itself, there are a lot of property management groups throughout the United States.
Okay.
You just need to vet the right one, make sure you have a trusted source, ask them as many questions, interview them, ask them about their past experiences, how they handle an issue, what's their hierarchy in terms of like, hey, there's an issue here, someone's toilet, something's wrong with it. What do? Do you have any contractors that are able to go out there and, get this problem resolved right away? What are the costs? What are the fees? So you don't necessarily need to manage it.
Gotcha.
As long as you're delegating it and having the right team,
yes,
that makes it even more successful asset that we would want to invest in.
Okay.
Because if you don't learn how to delegate in a business, specifically investments, then you might be losing out on a lot of things.
Understood.
You need to understand the value of your time and where you're allocating your time, so that way you can make a better and more informed decision.
Understood. Now, 5 years from now, George, where are you? Where's the fund? Where's your firm in terms of real estate investment? Where would you hope to be?
In the next 5 years, we're looking to do real estate development.
Okay.
So we want to be able to develop something very beautiful, multi-unit with commercial space, it's called mixed use. You have residential units upstairs,
yes,
and then on the bottom level, you have your typical commercial retail. And then we wanted to be able to have some type of rooftop to it, the pool, a lot of amenities for our tenants. So that's what we're looking for, that we're able to accomplish in the next few years.
Okay. Now going back to your days at Minding Our Business, how is the fund or the firm continually to give back to inner city communities?
So we actually host classes. So
okay,
in our community, we're able to, host a class, which is actually free, and people are able to learn about, finance 101, your typical
yes,
financial literacy courses, a debit card versus a credit card,
yes,
in different types of savings account. What's the difference between a CD, like a certificate of deposit, versus a regular savings money market account?
yes,
Should I invest in a brokerage account, or should I have an IRA account?
yes.
So all these financial literacy, we're able to give back to the community. They're able to understand, to make a better, more informed decision about their finances. And
Awesome.
That's really the fundamental and the cornerstone of establishing a great lifestyle for the future, is
Awesome.
understanding finances.
Now, another young man that comes to my mind is, oh my God, Andre McNear, former MOB student. Him and his partner just bought some high-end property here in Trenton. I would love to put you two together. You may not know of each other, but the fact that you all came out of the Minding Our Business program would be a major feather in the hats of both Dr. Hernandez and myself. And we certainly would love to see you guys make that connection. But I'll make sure to put you guys in touch with one another. Man,
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be great.
Man, I listen, I am so excited. So I know now, George, we're going to stay connected because we're going to make some great things happen. I'm trying to do a summer online entrepreneurial class. So I know when it comes to the financial literacy part, I may call you and ask you to speak to that area as my subject matter specialist.
Of course, absolutely. I'd love
Wow.
to help out as much as I can.
Fantastic. So with the time that we have left, is there anything that we need to know new about the fund, about the firm, and your vision for changing the world?
I believe in terms of changing the world, it's
Yes.
not a one man's job. It's as long as every person has that little seed planted in their heart
Yes.
that they want to change the world, then as long as you're planting that seed and spreading them, then, we can all accomplish that same goal.
Okay.
In terms of real estate investments, because we cater to a lot of our investors are accredited investors,
yes,
they have to meet certain criteria. But if someone who's listening and who's an accredited and they would love to learn more about what we do
yes,
and how we can help them save or invest in real estate, they're more than welcome to visit our website, drcinvestors.com. They can hit the contact us, submit their information, and then someone will get back to them shortly within the next 24 to 48 hours to learn about what their needs and how we can be of help.
Okay. Now I'm going to make this up as I go, but bear with me. So the fund that you created is just for multi-use residential property, right?
Right now, it's for multi-units, correct?
Okay. Have you ever thought about doing a fund where you would create for investors who want to invest in commercial property that had an entertainment bent? Like
yeah.
Okay, you have. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. So we're
share
actually exploring. Sure, we're exploring different types of real estate investments. So, like I said earlier, we're taking it one step at a time. We have a whole roadmap in terms of different routes we want to explore.
Yes.
Which would be, the buy and hold, which what we're currently doing with the multi-units. We want to be able to develop eventually, which would be both residential and commercial.
Yes.
There's also the industrial part, which is huge and booming right now, where you have, the like Amazon, where they're going around purchasing major lot sizes, so in that way they can build a warehouse facility that can accommodate their ever-growing business.
Yes.
You have the same thing with like Shopify and all these e-commerce business owners where they need space for their current inventory.
Mm-hmm.
So that part of the industry is actually very attractive to a lot of investors at the moment.
Yes.
So we're trying to see how we can also get a piece of the pie as well. And we're trying to create different funds that tailor to other people's needs in terms of what they're looking for. So we're eventually going to have a short-term fund, a long-term fund, something where it gives you become a limited partner in a specific property, which gives you a lot of tax benefits. And then so right now we're currently focused on the multi-units.
Yes.
But as the time progresses and, we're growing, we eventually want to explore different options.
Now, for the accredited investor, you're looking for them to have a minimum of $50,000 to do the fund?
We're a little flexible in terms of how much people can invest. It all depends on the different properties or the capital we're looking to raise.
Okay.
But it's typically around that price, the 50, 75,000 as a minimum entry. Now, as an accredited investor, they can Google or they can look up the SEC definition. Typically you need to make, $250,000 as an annual income, or $300,000 if you have a spouse. Your net worth needs to exceed a specific amount, like $1 million, excluding your primary residence. So there are a couple things we got to make sure that the investor meets before we can onboard them.
Understood. And so how long is that vetting process for you and your partners?
Oh, it's typically like a quick interview.
Okay.
We ask them the questions and then we verify by, they need to submit different types of statements and proof that, to show that they are a qualified individual.
Okay, understood. Man, this sounds so exciting. And so all of this vision, all of this passion developed while you were at Rider University?
Most of my passion towards the business developed while I was at Rider. And then, as I graduated and as Rider planted that seed in me, it just kept on growing and growing. And I'm just cultivating that specific passion that's within me. And right now it's been real estate for quite some time.
Yes.
And I'm learning as much as I can. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to spread my passion and what the limited knowledge that I have to other people.
Now, curious question. So you said creating a fund. Would you ever consider creating a fund for mental health and wellness, almost like a daycare center type fund for elderly people? Well, I'm not elderly, but people who may need those services. Because one of the things I noticed about the pandemic, like everybody, so many people have like this mental health concerns, like these daycare facilities or rehab facilities. Have you thought about creating a fund that would purchase and operate those type of daycare facilities, rehab facilities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that sounds more of like a private equity fund, where
Gotcha.
private equity is a little bit different than real estate funds, because
Okay.
private equity, they're essentially raising capital to invest in different types of opportunities,
Okay.
not tailored to a specific class, like an asset class, like for example, like real estate. So private equity can open up a fund because they want to focus on, the environmental health and the green aspect of that, or they can open up a different fund because they want to explore something in the technology field, or they want to
Yes.
open up another fund to invest in the healthcare facilities. So that's the private equity. We don't do these things, but what we do is we open up funds for real estate.
Yes.
And eventually what we want to have is on the commercial side, it would be a commercial building with a lot of healthcare offices.
Yes.
And that could include, doctor office, a pharmacy, and eventually a daycare, both for kids and adult, a senior living home, a safe space for something like that.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Wow, fantastic, man. George, one more time, give us the contact information, the website where folks can obtain more information.
Sure, absolutely. brcinvestors.com, Black Ridge Capital LLC. They can Google that, and they can visit our website to learn more.
Yeah. Now, just as a joke, I like the Black Ridge Capital, right? Right, because it almost sounds like Black Rock. So if you're moving too fast, like, man, I'm dealing with Black Rock. Oh yeah, Black Ridge Capital. I like that. I may have to steal that name because
Yeah.
I like that. I like that, man. How'd you come up with that name?
I don't recall how I came up with that name. I tried different names, and
Gotcha.
Black has this thing in the financial industry
Come on
where it's a prestige and
Listen,
yeah.
listen. Who are you telling?
Uh,
You mentioned Black Rock or anything black in the financial industry, and they're like, that's the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
so I wanted to have that part of the ring as well, where
Yes.
Black Ridge. It did exactly what you just said. Oh, it sounds familiar to like BlackRock or
Yes.
Blackstone or
Yes.
some of the other prominent firms.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny? Part of the podcast, we also talk about the social injustice that's happening to Black and brown folk, right?
Sure.
And I remember that the only time that the name or the color Black was good was when they were talking about something financial, like I'm in the black. That meant it was good. You're doing pretty good. Now you hear the word Black Rock, so we as African Americans, we feel good, man. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. But you get the gist of what we had to overcome. All right.
Of course. Absolutely.
George, any final words that you want to you give a shout out to Dr. Hernandez, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Hernandez, thank you for giving me the opportunity to join MOB and to learn more about myself and helping others. And because of that, I'm doing it here. I'm giving it back to the community, and I want to spread as much of that joy that you gave everyone in terms of not to give up, not to quit, and to just keep enduring the pain until something good comes out of it. The storm before the rainbow.
Yes. Yeah. Now speaking, because Dr. Hernandez was a marketing professor. Now, talking about marketing, I thought we were going to end this podcast, but I got more time. You have more time?
Sure.
Okay. What type of marketing are you using? Are you using social media right now?
So in terms of stuff like this, we have to be very careful in terms
Yes.
of the different types of marketing that we exercise,
Yes.
just because of different types of compliance and regulation issues. So we are utilizing social media. We're keeping it, very brief in terms of different types of investments, stuff
Yes.
like that. But because of the nature of the business, we have to limit our marketing in terms of what we cannot do, what we cannot say,
Yes.
because of different types of compliance and regulation issues.
Okay. Awesome. But I mean,
But the best marketing thing for us is the word of mouth. And we were able to grow and come to where we are at this point because, you get one good investor, you do them right. They start seeing, hey, these folks are keeping up their word in terms of giving us the returns that we anticipated.
yes.
We're transparent. They're getting reports of like how much money they've invested. They can see and track everything, where their
Yes.
money is going, what's going in, what's going out. And because of that level of transparency, honesty, and trust, now they can recommend us to their, other accredited buddy. They're like, hey,
Awesome.
listen, these folks are doing X, Y, and Z. I heard you're trying to get into, an alternative investment.
Yes.
Give them, check them out.
Yes.
Let me put you in touch with so and so.
And
And,
hopefully we'll get a lot of listeners from the podcast, this interview, that would be encouraged to check you guys out.
Of course, that'd be great.
Awesome.
And I just wanna make it very clear out there for anyone who's listening. When we actually started this, a lot of people telling us, no, this is so hard, it's impossible. What are the chances? What do you know about this? What do you know about that? And you gotta keep going. Don't let the naysayers tell you can't do something because they never had the opportunity or the chance to do it. Otherwise, they wouldn't become the naysayer.
Yes.
So
I love it.
follow your passion, stick to your gut, and the person who wants to do something most likely knows enough to get them started than the person that's telling them, no, don't do it. And then the reason why they're telling them, hey, don't do it, because that person lacks the knowledge or the expertise of that person that has. So if you have at least an ounce extra in knowledge, that's more than enough to get you started.
I want to end the podcast, but I can't because I got to ask this next question. So you were a mentor in the Minding Our Business program. When you started this business, who is your mentor?
So I have a mentor. I'm not going to mention their name.
Okay.
And they're also in the financial industry.
Yes.
Not very specific to the real estate, but because of the work that they deal with, they are exposed to different types of real estate investments for the employer that they're with.
Okay.
So they're the person that's able to guide us if you have any questions in terms of legality or compliance or marketing, or we have hey, should we pursue this deal? Do you mind taking a look about this potential development deal?
Yes.
That person is right there. And I take everything that this person says to heart and very professional. And I feel every person, it's hard to find a good mentor, but once you do, you got to make sure you never let go of that individual.
Got to stick with them like glue, buddy.
Right.
That's fantastic. So one more time with the contact, George, please.
Sure. brcinvestors.com.
Excellent. George, any final words?
No, I just want to thank you and thanks for your time and for having me here.
No, listen,
it was a pleasure.
I am so glad you made the reconnect, man, because I'm always interested in finding out the impact that the Minding Our Business program had on the mentors, and what are they doing now, and how can we continue to stay in touch with one another? Because one of the things I've been thinking about, and I got to get off my lazy ass to do it, I would love to do a MOB, just a very simple MOB covered dish cookout. Someone,
that sounds like fun.
Just keep it simple. You bring your chair. We have hot dogs, hamburgers. Because for the first one, we just start off small, and just do like a meet and greet, and we just keep it light, just to kind of reintroduce ourselves, and just to kind of catch up. Yeah, let's work on that, man. Because I've got some young folks on this end that are not so much young now, and I think they would be encouraged. They would be excited about doing something like this.
Sure.
All right.
Let me know if I can help in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. George, you have been fantastic, man. Let's stay in touch, brother. Okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, my friend. Let's talk in text. Talk to you then.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.